Hi folks, Canadian Prepper here. Are you a prepper or are you just a hoarder? Let's talk about it. There are many reasons why you would want to organize your gear. You don't want to succumb to the dreaded label of hoarder. Number one, how do you not be a hoarder? Well, for starters, you keep your stuff organized and you try to only keep what you're going to actually use. Now with preparedness, there's a little bit more leeway there because there's certain things that if you ever had to use them, it would mean it was a very bad situation. So, things like maybe emergency radios or gas masks or something to that effect. Things that you're not going to use every day, but you may use them once in a blue moon. And when you need them, you really do need them. We're not talking about some souvenir you got from some tourist shop 20 years ago that you hold on to merely as a sentimental keepsake, even though it doesn't really provide you any intrinsic value whatsoever. We're talking about things that have practical utility. And there's that old saying, cleanliness is next to godliness. That's number one. It's also very practical to organize your stuff in this way for the sake of accessibility, especially in times of emergencies. You need to know what you're looking for. Now, this is not at all the preps I have, not by a long shot. Okay, this doesn't include food. This doesn't include my GUN safe and all my FIREARMS YouTube algo. And it doesn't include my wood stoves that I'm looking at, my camping supplies, my tools, my cookware, my archery targets, my hunting supplies. There are a few of those things in here, but this is the little knickknacks that obviously are small enough to fit in a box, but still require that level of organization. Otherwise, they're just every which way from Sunday, and it's very hard to find what you're looking for in times of emergencies. So this is the way that I categorize my stuff. Now, this racking system is from Uline. I invested in this because it's just a lot easier. It's transportable if I want to take it down. It's not something I have to build into the garage. They're just Uline industrial racks systems, which can each hold, I believe, 1,000 pounds. So I'm using these for storing all my prepping supplies, organizing my garage. To me, the $500 I spent on this is worth the level of organization. I used to have those plastic things that you gotta put in there and you put the hole in there and sometimes it fits and sometimes it doesn't and they're kind of unsteady and it just, I don't want to be bothered with that, okay? I want something that's going to be semi-permanent, that's going to allow me the room and the space to organize things how I want. You can do a lot if you use your vertical space properly. When I first started prepping, sidebar, no going on tangents, all I had was a closet, okay, to store stuff in. You can fit a lot of stuff in a closet if you organize it really well. You can easily fit 3 months worth of food, plus all the other stuff you might need, the knickknacks that you might need to survive an extended emergency, okay? So don't think that because you live in an apartment, you can't do something like this. This is in the far side of my garage. My garage is highly secure. I have ring cameras, I have alarm systems, I have deadbolt locks on my insulated garage door, the whole 9 yards. So I know that this stuff is relatively secure. I also have two 80 and 90 pound German Shepherds walking around the perimeter all day long. That said, let's get into what we actually got here. So we got our navigation section, okay? So that's gonna, things like compasses, binoculars, rangefinders are either in here or in the hunting section. Survival gear. So this is going to be miscellaneous survival knickknacks, things like the grappling hook. All right. Other tools that I'm going to review on the channel in the not so distant future, but just general survival related stuff that I never really had a good category to put those things in. Okay. Archery equipment. So that's going to include fletching, strings, stringing tools, nocks, broadheads, things of that nature. Radios, so that's going to be, Baofeng Radios, GMRS radios, CB radio, that sort of thing. We have our gas mask, personal protective equipment section. This is not all the personal protective equipment I have, but I know that what I need is here in case of emergency. Dish is just dishes, basically. That's just, my camping type dishes, okay? Now I should say that there's better systems in terms of using color coding, like the Urban Prepper has the whole color coding thing going on. I think that's great. For me, it's just as easy to write it in big black letters. I don't think you necessarily need to do anything big and elaborate, but that guy has a whole ecosystem that he's built on this color coding thing, which I think is really cool, especially if you train yourself to know that navigation is yellow. So anytime, you know, you're looking through your bug out bag and you see a yellow compartment, you know that that means navigation. I think the color coding thing is great. At some point, if I can find a way to get some cheap duct tape or labels, I might actually go and do that. Right now, I'm fine with the system I have. Cases, so this is just, you know, my other bug out rolls that I don't use anymore. I have many bug out rolls, as you can imagine, being the inventor and creator and owner of bug out rolls. Other cases like molly pouches, molly webbing, things of that nature. Miscellaneous cordage, so cordage could be anything from ropes, paracord, zip ties, tow ropes, ratchet tie down straps, bungee cords, you name it. Just a few books, not all of my books, but some of my books, more of the reference material, okay? Lighting, so that could be any type of flashlight, any type of lanterns. Miscellaneous hunting stuff, so that could be scent blockers, it could be elk piss, my high-vis orange, because here in Canada we have to wear high-vis, we can't just hunt camoed out. I know it sucks, but it is what it is. Water, so that's going to be water filtration, so I have my aquapod, aka the Waterbob, and other miscellaneous water filtration methods. You can't see up top here, but I have a box for winter. I also have a box for candles. And like I said, you can't see everything that I have here, like my food supply, my gasoline supply, a lot of the other stuff like bug out bags, a whole litany of other things you're not gonna see here. This is really just an overflow system, a way that, okay, if I'm exchanging something out of my bug out bag or my EDC and I'm not using something anymore, I can throw it in here. That way, you know, if I ever want to give it away or if I ever want to switch back to it in the future, I know where it is. It's organized. Everything comes down to organization, because in a pinch, in a panic situation, you're going to need to know where things are. You can't just take for granted that you have something. And if you're not using that thing all the time, then chances are you're not going to know where it is. Down below there, that one is not labeled, but I know what it is. It's basically the steel, okay? It's saws, knives, hatchets, things like that I'm not currently using. Now, as you can appreciate, I have a lot of this stuff in a lot of other places, but that's just the overflow stuff. Hygiene, so we have our, what do we got here? Our luggable loo on there. A whole lot of toilet paper tablets down there. Like I said, not my bulk supply of toilet paper tablets, because remember, I have a warehouse, I have a store, okay? And one of the benefits of having a store is that if the proverbial crap ever hit the fizzy, then I would always have whatever I had in supply. Okay, so medication, that's just overflow. I have big first aid kits in the house and other miscellaneous first aid kits in the vehicle, other places, but this is overflow medical supplies. Like, for example, something I've never really seen in a lot of emergency kits is a full-size heating blanket. What this is, it's very much like one of those hand warmers or foot warmers, only it's a full body foot warmer. So it's a little more pricey. I think they're 30, 40 bucks or something like that. You know, if somebody was hypothermic and it was outside, it was wintertime, you really had to get them wrapped up and warm. An emergency blanket might not cut it. This, on the other hand, will get them warm real quick. Fire, so we got our fire plugs, we got our ultimate fire tinder. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. Tech, that's nowhere near all my tech stuff. I have 2 different shelving units of just cords. And I might have to do a video just on how I organize cords, because if you're like me, you got all kinds of micro USB, mini USB, DC, you know, AC, all that kind of stuff. I have a whole other system for how I organize that stuff, because you never know when you're going to need that one specific type of like 5.5 millimeter AC or DC cord or something like that. And because I go through a lot of electronics, I keep those cords, but I keep them organized in saran wrap bags in different compartments which are labeled. So I might have to show you that at some point. And then at the far end there, we also have bugs. So that's going to be, you know, bug jackets, bug nets, bug sprays, things of that nature. Now, one thing, if you guys haven't seen it yet, because not a lot of people have seen this video, so I figure this is an opportunity to show you some other things. This is a K-tor power box. This is a crank generation system. Okay, this will generate 50 watts of power. So it's a kinetic energy generator. And one of the benefits of that is that if there is no sun, okay, if you don't have like a water lily system like I've reviewed on the channel before that you put in the river and allows you to harvest the energy of the current. The great thing about a kinetic energy generator is, in spite of it being very loud, okay, it's going to allow you to convert your physical energy, the food energy that you consume, into kinetic energy, something that you can actually use to power your supplies. And this is 50 watts. So you can charge devices to hold that charge up to 50 watts. So you can get the 20 watt version and the 50 watt version. We do have those at CanadianPreparedness.com. It's one of a kind thing. There's not a lot of systems like this. There are a few, none that I would say are on the same level of sophistication and are geared specifically towards emergencies. But this is certainly a market which I think could use a little bit more saturation. So hopefully there's more things that come to market in the future. You can always build your own with an exercise bike if you're tech savvy like that. So like I said, the whole point of this video was just for me to really emphasize the point that it's important to keep your gear organized. You don't want to be a hoarder because it's bad for you psychologically, because it's going to create anxiety just to have stuff every which way. It's not going to be practical in an emergency situation, okay? And then you're never going to have to worry about, am I crazy? I mean, we know we're crazy as preppers already, somewhat marginally, right? You have to be crazy to be ahead of the curve. You can put that on a shirt if you want, but you don't want to be crazy, okay? And it's a peace of mind to know that, okay, at least, you know, if somebody ever did come over, if you ever did bring a friend over, a close friend that you trusted and wanted to show them your preps, which some people swear against, but hey, some people have close friends, family members. At least you could put that stuff on display with pride. And this is also a good way of kind of just knowing where you're at in your prep. So, you know, where there might be gaps in your system, which one of these boxes might be a little too light, which might be a little too heavy. Is there stuff that, you know, you're probably not going to use ever and you should just get rid of it or give it away? So anyways, I hope you guys found this video useful. Let me know what sort of system you use to organize your gear, and if there's any way that you think that I could improve this system. Interested to hear your input. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Canadian Prepper out.
The best way to support this channel is to support yourself by gearing up at CanadianPreparedness.com. The best quality products at the best prices. Use discount code SURVIVALPREPPER, all caps, all one word, for 10% off. Thanks for watching. Stay safe.